Alright, who's ready for some terrible voice acting? Angry warrior. You approach a well-armed, angry-looking native who's currently fiddling with several small items attached to his wide leather belt. His weathered face spawns a few more wrinkles as he scowls in your direction. What's up with the belt? The man frowns. Evidently, he understands you no better than you understand him. What are you doing here? In Zakatuzigan Ak, Zuhalderakana Derium. You have no idea what he just said. The warrior watches you leave with a furrowed brow. Maybe I need to read these books.
Sometimes the answer is right in front of your face.
The Nova Draconian Barbarium Slurium fable was recorded, translated, and adapted by Father Hercus of Clamsreach. There once lived a lonely woman named Janoni. One winter, her herd was attacked by dire wolves, the largest pack that's ever been seen or ever will be. They slaughtered all, old and young, fat and thin. The only thing Danoni was able to save was one sickly calf, so she barricaded the animal and herself in her hut where it was safe. On the following full moon, the dire wolves came scratching at Danoni's door. "Give us the calf now, for we are peckish," they ordered. "Why, this calf is sickly," she replied. "Give me time to nurse it back to health first, and then you can feast on it." The dire wolves agreed, and Danoni took good care of her little calf and brought it back to health. Come next moon, the dire wolves returned. "Give us the calf now, for we hunger," they demanded. "The calf is feeling much better," she replied, "but the poor thing is just skin and bones. Give me time to fatten it up first, then you can feast on it." Dire wolves reluctantly agreed, so Danoni fed her calf as much as it would eat, and it grew fat. On the last moon of winter, the dire wolves slunk again to her door, more quietly this time. "Give us the calf now, or we will starve," they begged. "But of course," she replied, throwing open her door. "So I promised, and so shall it be." And out of her hut rushed the biggest, strongest bull there ever was or ever will be. With hooves he trampled, and with horns he gored, and the handful of dire wolves who escaped, tails between their legs, troubled Danoni no more. The moral of the story: endurance is key. Is there an option up here just for books?
Obviously.
Okay, so we've read that. We've read that. We've read that. I like that I'm getting experience for this. The Nova Draconian Barbarian. Okay, that's just going to say that every time, so I'm not going to repeat it every time. There once was a man named Erdine who, in the midst of a drunken boast, challenged, I can't tell if that's two I's or a U, Mundun, the Chosen, to a fight the next morning. The spectators had no doubt about the outcome. Erdine was weak, frail, scrawny, while Mindun's arms were hard as rock. His legs were like tree trunks, and most of all, he had an unshakable warrior spirit. "Verily, I shall slay this boy come morning," ha ha ha, laughed Mindun, while his challenger wept and cast about for some way to recall his foolish boast. But alas, there was none. Thankfully, Erdine's stepmother, Aroni, was a sorceress. That night, she transformed into a she-raven, flew into Mindun's room, and upon his bedpost made her perch. First she spoke to the sleeping Mindun's weapon arm, whispering, "Pride of the tribe thou art, mightily thowed arm, but when you are raised against my ill-begotten stepchild, you shall tremble with palsy, and an unseen weight will fill thine palm and drag thee down." Then Aroni addressed the sleeping Mindun's legs. "Thick as the trunk of a 50-year-old oak are they. But when my foolish stepchild stands in the way of thine trampling, soft as porridge you shall become. Every step thou takes shall be as that of a drunkard at sea in a mighty storm. Oh, shall it be so?" Lastly, she spoke to Mindun's warrior spirit, and for the first time acquainted it with doubt, failure, and fear of death. When her dark words were done, she flew away, and lo, come morning, Mindun's arms did shiver and hang limp as if palsied. His legs gave out as if retreating from a days-long battle, and a cowardly scream escaped his cracked lips. Without a single blow landed, Erdine was proclaimed the victory. The moral of the story: words have power. Is that the moral? I think the moral is know a sorceress.
But I digress.
There once was a brave lad named Seminoan who promised to recover a plum of healing for his ailing father. So he packed his travel bag and ventured out into the wilderness. Unflaggingly, he trudged across peat bogs, through forest, and over mountains. Fun fact about me, my great-great-great ancestors apparently worked in peat bogs.
That is so random.
Many a beast he slew in his quest, and many a foe. When he reached the sacred grove, he discovered but a single plum of healing hanging from an otherwise barren branch. Weary and wounded from his many battles, he hadn't even the strength to pluck it, and fell asleep at once. Come nightfall, a crafty snake slid out of Seminoin's travel bag, in which dark space it had abided since the day the lad prepared for his arduous journey. Up the half-dead tree the viper did crawl, and around the branch where the plum of the healing grew did it coil. No, I already used my snake voice, but I have to use it again. No bog did I trudge through, no beast or foe have I slain, no injury have I suffered, yet mine is the prize, said the crafty viper, and swallowed the plum of healing whole. The moral of the story, stealth is wealth. But like, what happened to the viper later? You know what I'm saying? Note, this list covers only the most important lesser gods. For more information about all the deities in our blessed pantheon, please reference the Divine Host Encyclopedia, volumes 1 through 30, published by the Royal Print House of Marbleheim. Where more than one name applies to the same deity, it will be included in parentheses next to its denomination in Common Cudonian, lesser in regard to the dragon, of course. Dives Vedar, Divo Pratu, Diovu Pater, Tiazi Tevs, Chiras Froder, Sius Doggo. One thing I'm not embarrassed to do is mess up a name.
Obviously.
The chief god before the rise of the dragon cult. It is now widely believed that this deity was either an aspect of the dragon or the dragon's avatar. Dives Vater's priest, the Wadalots, began serving the dragon after the conversion. So I'm guessing this is a take on the Skyfather god, right? Like, it almost sounds like father. Vedar is almost like father, even though it's a different language than our language, obviously. So I'm wondering if there's going to be an Earth Mother somewhere here too. Saula, Sola, Izola, Soul, Celia, the sun goddess and protectress of mothers. She stands at the right hand of the dragon in heaven. Clad in dazzling gold, Saul crosses the sky in a cart pulled by two divine foals. Better than those goats in the last Thor movie. Minyo, Menes, Mas, Mahas, Mesek, Lun, the moon god. He stands at the left hand of the dragon in heaven, a divinely beautiful man in silver armor and a cloak woven with stars, mounted upon a white horse. Ugin, Agni, Hur, and Rugi, god of thunder, fire, smithing, and weaponry. He stands at the foot of the dragon's throne, often described as a mighty gray-haired man on a chariot with a sword and lightning bolt in hand. His symbol is the anvil, so this dude's half Zeus, half Hephaestus. Omre, Omrana, goddess of earth, cattle, medicine, and commerce. She stands at the top step of the stairs leading to the dragon's throne. Omre is portrayed in a checkered gown, and her symbol is a snake. What? Why would the goddess of earth, cattle, medicine, and commerce, why would her symbol be the snake? Though I guess ours is two snakes to represent medicines. Oh, I can't really judge. Actually, let's do another more, you know.
Or not. We could also not.
Medical snakes symbol. It's Greek, right? Or is it Egyptian? The caduceus, a staff in which two snakes coiled around it, is the official insignia of the medical corps. Traditional symbol of Hermes. So, a Greek god. Well, was Hermes Greek and Egyptian, though? Human protector of travelers, thieves, merchants, and orators, or orators. He's able to move quickly between worlds. Am I just crazy? For some reason, I thought he showed up in Egyptian gods, but no. This says Thoth is the Egyptian equivalent. Okay, we're going to continue the more you know.
Oh, make it stop. Make it stop.
So let's go with god that shows up in Egyptian and Greek. For some reason, I thought there was one god that was in both. Guess I'm just insane.
Yes, crazy.
It's always weird when you learn that you learned something wrong. Oh no, there is one. Horus.
Wrong.
No, because this says they're separate. Grrr. And I also don't need the information from Rick Riordan. Those books are fine, but I don't consider that like a end-all, like an educational. Is there a god that shows up in Greek and Egyptian myth? It's bringing up Thoth and Hermes. That's what I thought, Hermes. But I guess maybe, I'll just tell you what it says. Another significant connection is the identification of Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom and writing, with Hermes, the Greek messenger and god of knowledge. This fusion gave rise to the concept of Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure associated with alchemy, magic, and esoteric wisdom.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. It's over.
Loima, Lame Lasmi Verta, goddess of fate and protectress of pregnant women, alongside her little sisters, Katra and Dola. This monitor sucks. It's either Dola or Doja. Like Doja Cat, it's probably Dola. She stands on the second step to the dragon's throne. Loima is pictured sitting in a long silk dress, weaving the webs of fate. Her symbol is a spindle. Ostar, Hestar Polydivo Vaus Hekvos, patron god of horses and fertility, he stands on the third and lowest step before the dragon's throne. He is said to be a powerful, hardy man who sits upon a magnificent stallion completely naked. His holy symbol is a wooden stick. By the way, I say naked. I don't know why I said naked just then. Yamhar, Yam, god of the sea and maritime trade. He stands before the stairs leading into the dragon's throne. Described as a black-bearded man in a long robe of pristine azure, his holy symbol is a purple shell. Okay. You know what I always thought was interesting? So we get most of our month names from Greek stuff, obviously, but then like our days are Norse in English, at least. We have this day of the sun, the day of the moon, then we have Tuesday, which is Tyr's Day, Wednesday, which is Woden, which is Odin, Thursday, which is Thor's Day, Friday, which is either Frigg or Freya, and then Saturday is Saturn's Day, which would be the Roman god, I think, but I don't know. But then we do the Greek calendar and we ended up with Norse day names. Just kind of interesting how that all works out.
Nobody cared.
Few in the civilized world know that the barbarians of Nova Draconia, or the Slurium as they call themselves, have not one, not two, but three given names. There is the known name that describes the barbarians' occupation, place of living, social status, some aspect of their personality or physique, etc. Such names usually end in and, for womenfolk, ni. Examples: Gizon Argun means man of light. Menduin, man like a mountain or mountain man. Bruskun, disappointed man.
That's my dad.
Denoni, mistress of good deeds. Handruni, woman from big water or woman big as water. Aldi Hartuni, woman who takes horses. Following is the clan's name, which is mostly used on social occasions and during ceremonies. The second name always starts with C and ends with Ak, and is shared between men and women of that clan. Example: C. Kaspasta Urdiba Ak, from the Iron Sword clan. C. Dalzak Zorza Ak, from the Masters of the Eight Winds clan. Man, someone had to think this up, isn't that wild? C. Begi Koldar Esku Sarta Ak, from the Cowardly Eyes Brave Hands clan. The third name, customarily given by the tribe's shaman, is a closely guarded secret, known only to the name's holder, their parents, and the shaman. This game has a lot of emphasis on names, I'm starting to realize. The name is in a different language, which is only fully understood by a select group of spiritual leaders. Most barbarians know their own third name and, at most, a few words of this other tongue. Though it is not forbidden to learn the language, the teacher will only begin that education after the student has spent 10 years as their servant. It is important to note that the Silurian merchants and barbarians living in the civilized parts of Nova Draconia often use a bridge version of their tribal monikers to make them more appealing to Outlanders' ears. Examples: Gaizo, Origin, Gaizo Nargun, Mindian, Origin, Mindun, Bruskin, Bruskun. That's almost the same. Dona, Original, Danoni, Hyanda, Honderni, Alda, Aldihartuni. Hopefully they'll add a font thing for the actual final game. I understand why it wouldn't be in early access. I've got terrible vision, by the way. I have -7.5 and -8.5. By the way, if you want to know something interesting, you could watch a SciShow video they just put out about how all our UV blocking windows and stuff, they think it might be leading to more nearsightedness because there's a layer of something in our eyes that needs a small amount of UV, not a lot, like don't go stare at the sun, but some amount of UV to like thicken. And it's when it gets thinner because of lack of UV, they think it could cause nearsightedness.
That is so random.
Below you shall find short descriptions of the three evils, demon gods, friends of chaos, and misdeeds, Fex, Velns, and Cert. Be warned, gentle reader, that their vile cults still lurk in the shadows of hidden temples, in the depths of foetid jungles, even within the Empire's borders. Remain vigilant, for the Dark Triad and their demonic minions are ever on the hunt for new souls, and since you only have one, safeguard it from falling into their terrible claws. Fex, the great manipulator and painted lord of chaos monsters. He is said to have deer horns, cat's eyes, and 2 tongues, both for lying. One half of his face is bearded, the other clean-shaven. Fex domains are ancient ruins and abandoned towers. His token animal is the fox. I think it'd be cool if they did his double tongue things, if they had said one tongue is for like outright lies and then one is for lies of omission or something like that, you know? Velns, champion of the wicked violence, adultery, and selfishness. He is described as an unnaturally hirsute man with spiraling ram's horns, a cow's tail, and webb's fingers. If I hadn't been doing so many the more you knows, I'd look up hirsute. Hirsute? Unnaturally hirsute man. Can I figure it out from context? No. Turns out context when describing a made-up mythical figure isn't great. Veln's domains are marshy lowlands and sandstone caves. His token animals are the black auroch and the red bog rooster. Cert, known to be vain and prideful, described as a heavily built man with eyes and horns of a goat, a pig snout, and long black talons. These guys sound a lot like orcs from the Wheel of Time. Cert domain is the abyss. Should it be Cert's domain? I guess the other ones aren't. Fex domains. No, that's how it is. Cert domain. Okay. Cert domain is the abyss, the underground realm where sinners' souls are condemned to endure all manner of punishments while awaiting rebirth. His token animals are the giant spider and the toad. It'd be cool if it was the scorpion and the frog.
So random.
Thou shalt honor the dragon. Thou shalt honor the lesser gods. Thou shalt honor all the prophets and all the saints. Okay. All of these start with thou shalt. So honor thy mother and father, not kill, not steal, not commit adultery, not covet thy neighbor's goods and chattels, not indulge in gluttony, not give thyself up to vainglory, not spread falsehoods, not succumb to thy wrath. We're done with the thou shalts. Except in circumstances of self-defense, combat, and warfare, and carrying out lawful executions. Observe these edicts, and when thy time comes to stand before the dragon, he shall judge thee worthy to enter the blissful hills of Semay. Violate these edicts, and thou shalt be condemned to the abyss, where Cert and his servants will torture and punish thee until thou art reborn in a new body. Mock the dragon's mercy by deliberately and repeatedly breaking his holy edicts, and thou shalt forever be reborn as a lower creature, thy humanity irrevocably lost, along with any chance to join him in the heavenly hills. So I'm confused. The hell portion talks about, or their version of hell, talks about rebirth. But if you follow the dragon, are you not reborn? Do you go to this Valhalla type hills of Semay or wheat fields? Greetings. Urata Lano, warm cheer, both traditional greeting and farewell. Zugarian Norat Bar Kina Ak, I come with peace. Zum Ezini Alan, what is your name? Kuribat Ezini Alkum, my name is Koribet. Zalgai Hwao, is this for sale? Colt Kinbat Hwao, How much does it cost? This is too expensive. Colt hot heg how. So how means sale cost and expensive? At osnu how. I will buy it. I don't understand what how means.
I am feeling really stupid.
It's shown up in all four of those. Zoom eskeruak. Thank you. Polite. Dorome. My pleasure. Communication. Hitsu onagen dimiho ak. I speak your language a little. Zoom deal ak. I will kill you. Definitely something you want in like an easy translation book. Zoo deal ak. You want to kill me? I hope if they title these that in the final version this says something funny like 10 translations every adventurer should know or something like that. Hil Isagen Talgedu ak. Please don't kill me. The rest of the thin booklet is filled with other useful phrases, basic grammar, and pronunciation. Okay, so that's all the books.
It only felt like a lifetime.
So I want to talk to this guy. Oh, cool. It actually worked. How awesome is that? I learned the language by reading those books.
Obviously.
Heck yeah. Greetings. Zoom Schlurgen Uratulanu Hanu Ak. Despite sounding galled, he actually offered you a longer, more polite version of the Duricium Solarium Salutation Warm Tier. What are you angry about? Zare Derudi Solik Guardi Ak. He looks angry because that is a fitting emotion for a warrior. What are you doing here? He points at one of his companions, the one wearing a hat. Seems like you should ask him. Can you tell me about your belt? Did he just say that his grandfather took his belt from a deathless goat? It happened a long time ago during a big festival in the old town when the ancients / elders / spirits / something else entirely woke up. He, this must be his grandfather, took the belt after a fight to the death, during which these awoken beings watched him. A deathless goat. The one who cannot die. When you cut it, something happens. When it talks, someone bows. That's all you can decipher. He carries on with this description, but only one thing is clear. The man isn't talking about a regular goat, but something you can't even guess at. His grandfather managed to kill it thanks to something. Maybe the creature was sick? Tell me about this big festival. No point in talking about that. Tell me about the old town. If you understand correctly, it is no more. Destroyed in a war, perhaps? What was it you said woke up? They are very old and are always sleeping. They look like they're dead, but they never die. Or something like that. What about that fight to the death? He doesn't elaborate, as if the subject is so well known it's pointless to discuss. Oh, no, I wanted to touch the belt.
Will our brave behemoth blitz the burly barbarian to boldly bear that bombastic belt, or will he find himself flustered and flailing for failing to finance this fantastic fashion find? Will I do something besides narrate? Well, tune in next episode to find out the answers to these questions and more. Same Swordhaven time, same Swordhaven channel.